Hi, spotted cheap hops, ladies and gentlemen, it's me, Silicon Steve Valley, and right over there is the best partner a man can ask for in the world of professional wrestling, the current Purple Nurple champion, Vladi Dottie, and we are back on a Saturday morning. We are feeling great, and brother, how are you today, and are you ready to talk about two of my favorites, Jay White and MJF?
One of my driving forces of waking up this morning, I gotta say, was actually talking to you about Jay White and MJF. Which, if you are doing like fantasy booking, as some owners of certain company have the ability to, they finally pulled the trigger. Something you and I would have done, like almost as the company might have started. These are the two that you wanted to see together, and now we have it. And when I saw this evolving on Dynamite, I immediately thought of you, who have been no bigger of a supporter of Jay White than anybody else I know, basically. The biggest Jay White supporter that I personally know for sure. And have directed me towards him, even, where I'm seeing, okay, this guy's got potential. And honestly, he would juice specifically. It's sort of reminiscent of Hall and Nash to me in some ways, but a little different. Here we have it. Switchblade Jay White enters the ring with MJF. And I allow you to go and proceed here, where I need to know what you were thinking at that moment.
Well, it was a moment where I actually got up from my chair. You know, that's how much I enjoyed it. That doesn't happen too often. It happened. I can name a couple off my head. When Kenny beat Okada, finally, in the 2 out of 3. When AJ Styles turned on John Cena, when the beat up John Cena thing became popular. When Jimmy Uso actually kicked Roman Reigns, that was another one. And this was another one. When Jay White, honestly, he might be my favorite AEW wrestler. He was my favorite New Japan wrestler. When he came into the ring, the first thing I come into my mind, I'm like, wow. I just looked at my wife who was watching it with me and I said, baby, these are literally my two favorite wrestlers right now, and they're going to have a promo battle. And it was Jay White's first big moment as a promo. I was actually saying, this is going to be good. I can't wait. As MJF said, Jay White got off to a little bit of a weird start. It wasn't great. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't phenomenal. And that was okay. Where's it going from here? And MJF was at his best. This was a typical bang. MJF, I'm going to put you over, but I'm going to bury you all at the same time. Great job that MJF does, probably better than anybody else at this point in time, and probably since Piper, I would say. I don't think anyone touches MJF except for maybe Piper in his heyday. MJF just buries him, but also in a way where he brings up stuff where he clearly knows who Jay White is. He talks shit on New Japan all he wants, but Jay White is the only Grand Slam champion in the history of New Japan Pro Wrestling. He did it all before he was 30 years old. So he's still a young guy, and he doesn't wrestle in a manner in which he's going to get hurt all the time. And this guy could be at the top of your card, and then MJF slices him in half, and the crowd was really against Jay White, despite the fact they love him, but MJF has this crowd in the palm of his hands. He does it in this beautiful way. They're even rooting for him to be a good guy when it really comes down to it, but they still love the fact he is a scumbag, right? With the crowd chanting tofu at Jay White. Jay White was good, despite the fact he didn't get that opportunity as much in New Japan. He was good at letting the crowd breathe a little bit, literally breathing with the switchblade. And then Jay White tore into his promo. And I thought he held his own really well. He went back to his classic. All the greatest hits came out at the end. And you believed it. And he got the crowd cheering for him too during his promo, despite the fact they were against him. Oh, so go ahead.
They really bought into him when he got fired up. Yeah. Even I did. I was like, there it is. That's what we wanted to see from him. So, yeah, that's my quick note there, man. Like, and I picked up on the crowd, too. They're like, oh, yeah, look, like now he's not backing down. And that's all you want to see with MJF. Mm-hmm. And they just played it perfectly. But keep on going, man.
And that's the thing. And you make up a great point right there. If you can get with MJF and you can hang with him, you did your job because you just had the best segment of the show in all likelihood.
Yes.
If you can match MJF, every time someone has matched MJF, that's arguably been the best part of the show. I know a lot of the hardcore AEW fans that just want to see 2 hours of wrestling every Wednesday night, 100%, and no promos. I'm sorry, that might piss you off. I saw a couple people hating on MJF's promo this past week because it was too long. I want to care why these two people are going to fight.
Yes.
And by the way, that was after a good segment with Adam Cole. Look, MJF, if he's not signed yet, Then Tony Khan is a complete idiot. I really do believe he signed a long-term contract last year after he cut that promo. I thought this was going to lead up to a thing with CM Punk, with basically CM Punk and MJF doing the same exact thing that they did with Cena, and all bets are off now. Right? So, CM Punk's headlining WrestleMania. But no, so we saw it with Ricky Starks. We even saw it with Darby Allin, despite his promo that he did. It still was an awesome promo. And that's what MJF does. If he's not going to hand it to you, but he'll give you the opportunity to say what you need to say and cut a good promo on him. And that usually elevates the entire show. So MJF at his age is even doing that. And not that Jay White needed it, because I've seen him cut incredible promos, but they were usually backstage after matches. He doesn't, so he's not as accustomed to broadcast television, though he's been in Ring of Honor, so he knows camera work. The guy's clearly a professional. But he did a great job standing with arguably the best promo in the business, certainly in AEW. And he did his job, and he basically said, yes, I can hang here. And now they can go out, and I'm telling you, their wrestling match is going to be incredible because Jay White delivers. MJF delivers. And we thought that was good enough for me, Vladi. That was fine, and I'm okay with it. But then at the end of the night, and by the way, a couple of nice lines. When I peel that AEW championship for me, I will be the truly elite champion. That, like you said, that fired up. I was a catalyst, single-handedly sold out Madison Square Garden. And you believe what the guy says. So, but we thought we were done, and we got MJF as the baby. After Swerve Strickland looked far away as a much better promo than Hangman Adam Page.
Love that line.
And we'll get into that when we do our picks on our next video. We see in the back 4 guys beating down the heel of this situation, Jay White. And most speculation, and I think Vladi Dottie, we are part of this seemingly unanimous idea that this was the redistributed era. Adam Cole, baby, wearing the devil's mask as 4 goons beat up on Jay White. So very easily we can be Matt Taven, Michael Bennett, Roderick Strong, and the 4th one, I heard a couple months ago he's close to coming back, Kyle O'Reilly. The redistributed era. The developmental club seems to be getting back together again.
And larger.
With a mysterious man wearing the mask. The famous mask that MJF made the debut when he challenged CM Punk before. And obviously it's something that MJF has come out to on pay-per-view main events, usually wears the mask. So interestingly enough, I'm of the opinion that it's got to be Adam Cole and his boys, right?
Absolutely. I mean, it all comes down to is who would have the access to that mask. And there's pictures out there where, like, the mask is actually in Adam Cole's locker, like from something that they did recently. So these are little hints, of course, and it all just shows that we have a situation where MJF is defending the tag team belts by himself in a handicap match against the Righteous, putting himself out there on an island, and basically doing that for his brochacho. But behind the scenes, however, you got his brochacho doing something like probably unbeknownst to MJF. And there you go. Now we have a full-on feud, almost a triad, if you will. Because Adam Cole and MJF are going to go split. This is definitely happening when Adam Cole's ankle is good again. And he can go do a super kick. That's when they're going to split, right? So with that in mind, you have Adam Cole's faction against the Bullet Club, Gold, versus MJF and whoever aligns or might align with him, unless it's just himself. So, and he just works with his network as he often does. But they have something really good going on with these 3 that I just mentioned, because now all of a sudden they can start stealing You know, and it's not going to be, like, let's put it this way, it's not going to be bigger than The Rock and the Bloodline if they go that route, WWE. However, anything beneath that, short of maybe LA Knight, now you have, like, the biggest, like, sort of storyline going where it intertwines shows, companies. I just hope he doesn't make it too complicated where it gets a little bit, you know,
convoluted.
Watching in ways. Yeah, convoluted is a great word for it. So, this is what Tony Khan is basically serving on a silver platter right now. I thank him for it. This is what you and I probably would say. If we were in the writer's room, we'd probably say, hey, this is what we got to do with this company.
Thank you so much for watching High Spots and Cheap Pops. This is Silicon's Valley, and for Vladi, hit the subscribe button, and here endeth the lesson.